Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Jonathan reviews country's security situation with service chiefs. UN, ECOWAS agree to assist Nigeria's fight against insurgents in the northeast. National Conference resumes plenary, receives reports from 12 out of 20 standing committees. And security concerns in Libya heighten as Saudi Arabia, others close embassy in Tripoli. Just to quickly remind you that all our top stories are on our website, ChannelsTV.com, and on YouTube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. And then you can interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. So if you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions. Now, there's been an increase in awareness about the Channels Television's Eyewitness report. Most of the pictures sent in through this platform have caught the attention of the authorities as citizens hold them accountable. Our correspondent Orolu Ashonibare reports on how you, our viewers, play an active role in improving the way the news is reported.
This picture of a suspected kidnapper in the Yanopaja area of Lagos State and the short amateur clip sent in by our eyewitness reporter Olamide is an indication of the state of the nation, one which appears to be deteriorating every day. The responsibility of ensuring this does not happen falls on the laps of the federal government, and these images show how closer to the edge the citizens are. Lasun leads the pack with this image of an overcrowded train ride in Lagos, a far cry from what is expected of development. Then the saddening pictures of accidents on the nation's highways sent in by Adeniyi in Ibadan, Oyo State, John in Ikorodu, Lagos State, and Akinola in Idioro, also in Lagos, can be avoided if the road network was better. With pictures of near-falling electric poles across the country, it's no wonder why there is not enough power to go around. The pictures you send in are reflections of your feelings, and it's our responsibility at Channels Television to pass on your concerns to those who can make the change happen. Orolu Ashonibare, Channels Television News.
Indeed, you too can take advantage of the Channels Eyewitness feature. Let's move on to security once again. And the Nigeria police says it's averted what could have been another devastating bomb blast in Kano State. A statement issued by the force public relations officer, Mr. Frank Mba, says the Kano police operatives acting on intelligence tracked and recovered an ash-colored Mitsubishi station wagon loaded with gas cylinders, one container of fuel, and other electrical components of improvised explosive devices. The vehicle was recovered at Tafawa Balewa Street, Nasarawa area of Kano, and has since been rendered safe by the police bomb disposal experts. Meanwhile, security agencies in Kano have commenced investigations into both the aborted blast as well as last night's bomb incident in which 5 people, including a suspected suicide bomber, were killed. The incident, which occurred at the Gold Coast Middle Road Junction, also destroyed vehicles that were in the vicinity when the bomber's car exploded. In the meantime, the Shehu of Borno, Dr. Mustafa El-Kanemi, has said that none of the leaders of the sect are from Borno State. Dr. El-Kanemi is quoted to have made the submission while granting audience to members of the Presidential Fact-Finding Committee on the Chibok girls, led by their chairman, retired Brigadier General Ibrahim Sabo. The Borno monarch described the abduction of the schoolgirls as unfortunate and strange to members of the Kanem Borno Empire, which he said had remained peace-loving for the past 1,200 years of the empire's existence. Dr. El-Kanemi adds that what's happening in his state is unfortunate and entirely new to them. Well, the insecurity challenge also caught the attention of delegates at the national conference, and while they asked the government to speed up action on the rescue of the girls, they also used today's plenary to discuss the reports of the various committees looking into national issues. Our correspondent Lanre Lasisi reports.
After 4 weeks of working in 20 different committees, it was time for delegates to come together again in plenary. They started by correcting the votes and proceeding of their last day in plenary. One major issue that had to do with their commendation of security agencies for rescuing the Chibok girls, which turned out to be false, caught their attention.
We correct that information, and instead of congratulating, we ask for government and all of us to work tirelessly to secure the release of the girls.
This sparked off a discussion as delegates proposed amendments and other motions on the matter. The chairman had to bring it to an end.
I think it's only fair that one knows the new figure and that to encourage those in the position to do so, those who are doing it now, to continue the effort to rescue the girls. I thought that it is sufficient.
With that settled, the secretary of the conference called on committee chairmen to lay their reports.
From my count, we have 12 reports that have been submitted, and we have 8 outstanding.
A debate then commenced on the manner the committee reports will be considered. Once again, the chairman had to intervene.
So you agree with the secretary with us? Okay, thank you very much. So we shall open a register for those for or those against to enter their name.
The reports were then distributed to delegates. The delegates spoke on the day's plenary and the manner the reports will be considered.
It's going very well. Because most of the reports are in. We have over 70% of our reports presented to plenary. Copies have been made and have been circulated to members.
That's why I control it more than asking us to raise our hands. And sometimes people can get to speak 2-3 times because either the proximity to the table that they know, they see them clearly, or that someone just walk around there and they can grab the microphone.
When they resume on Wednesday, the delegates will commence considering the reports of the committees on religion, environment, land tenure, and immigration. Now, this will set the tune for this very crucial part of the conference. Lanre Lasise, Channels Television News.
The movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta, MEND, has claimed responsibility for the attack on the pipelines of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, in Rivers State. MEND tagged the attack Hurricane Exodus, and it intended to bring down the facility. Residents of Okrika Council say over 20 persons have been confirmed dead and many injured in the explosion. Meanwhile, authorities of the Port Harcourt Refining Company are insisting that the incident occurred outside the facility and had nothing to do with the PHRC. All right, now let's look at some health issues. And as the World Health Assembly meeting opens in Geneva today, over 2,000 delegates will be deliberating on many issues, including climate change and health, drug resistance, and how to reduce the impact of non-communicable diseases. The World Health Organization's Director General, Dr. Margaret Chan, voiced her deep concern about the global increase in childhood obesity, with numbers soaring in developing countries. Our health correspondent Yomi Otaigbe, who is in Geneva, Switzerland, now reports.
Delegates from Africa joined others in this assembly hall, attending this 67th World Health Assembly meeting, where decisions that promote health and ease the global burden of diseases are taken.
At the helm of affairs here for the opening ceremony is the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Margaret Chan. She sets the agenda for the discussions.
Countries must have well-functioning regulatory authorities to protect their populations, whether from tainted food, unsafe medical products, tobacco, drink driving, air pollution, notifiable infectious diseases, or the marketing of unhealthy foods and beverages to children. Countries also need well-functioning information systems. The new accountability frameworks for results-driven initiatives depend on reliable information.
Like its counterparts from other countries, Nigeria's Minister of Health highlights the country's efforts at addressing health issues.
Nigeria considers universal health coverage as the goal of the entire health sector. The Declaration on Universal Health Coverage calls for mandatory health insurance with contributions from all income earners and for special funds to be provided by government to cover the poor and the vulnerable.
I'd like to highlight the issue of violence against women and girls, in particular female genital mutilation and child early and forced marriages of young girls. These practices must never be justified, and we must be clear, they stand in the way of girls' and women's fundamental rights to live free from violence and discrimination, and they have no place anywhere on our planet.
In the next 4 days, I'll be following closely proceedings here at the World Health Assembly meeting, where further discussions will surround climate change and health and life-saving commodities, among others. At the end, workable resolutions that will bring solutions to the health challenges of the people are expected. From the Assembly Hall of the World Health Organization here in Geneva, Switzerland, Yomi Otaigbe reporting for Channels Television News.
Now, when the news at 10 returns, trial of former managing director of defunct Afrobank PLC, Sebastian Adiwe, resumes in Lagos. Please join us again.